Good morning, everybody. Happy Labor Day for those of you who are off work today and who are taking some time out this morning to hang out with me for a few minutes. Thank you. I know you have better things to do. We are excited because, well, I'm attempting to after coffee time is over to maybe put a little bit of work on the back burner. I actually had told a client I would meet them today, and they're like, you know what? Just meet us on Tuesday. It's fine. Try to enjoy Monday. I went off this morning when Eric woke up. I went in and I told him, hey, look, why don't we, after coffee time is over, why don't you take the day and literally don't do anything work related? There's really no time off. For us, it seems like it just comes in little moments as opposed to a whole day or a whole weekend. So Eric is most often sitting in his office behind the computer working on things incessantly. So I'm trying to convince him to take the rest of the day off. So in the comments, you back me up and tell Eric that he needs to take the rest of the day off. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, guys. So this morning, honestly, I have, look what I have here. I'm going to be completely transparent. Hold on. There we go. I have 2 forms of caffeine. I didn't sleep well, mostly because our son was at Halloween Horror Nights last night, as he does. That's something he looks forward to every year. And that's at Universal. If you're not sure what that is, that's kind of their spooky Halloween type of the whole theme park is kind of decorated and themed that way. But he loves going there. And he's older now, so he was able to stay out a little bit later until they closed, and he had taken some friends with him. So I think they stayed there till closing, and then he had to drive a few friends back. So it was one of those mom moments where I was trying to go to sleep, but I couldn't really go to sleep because my baby wasn't home. And then as it was getting later and later, I started to get nervous. So I'm like, well, where is he? He should have left by now. So, if you're a parent, you've probably been there with me. He did get home probably 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess. I don't know, because they also decided after they left Universal to go to McDonald's or something. So I cannot fault them for going to McDonald's. That would be
say hi to John Corbellini. It's his first time watching.
Oh, hi, John Corbellini. Excellent. Thank you for watching. So if you are new to us, because perhaps you're home, yay, Jay, I'm glad you agree with me. Thank you, sir. We do this and it's a supplement to all of the YouTube videos that we do as a realtor here in the Orlando area in Florida, but specifically here in Central Florida. The whole Heart and Home Orlando YouTube channel, we've talked about how that even came to be, where it has taken me, thankfully, and gratefully. And then we've done our Sunday drives, which were a very authentic, absolute perfect slide into a supplemental video to the YouTube channels. Those Sunday drives were things that we did for clients specifically and privately, sending them their private links to those types of drives to kind of get them acclimated with the area and where their community would be in relation to Target or to Publix or to the hospital. And then we started to just, kind of do those on a more regular basis. And then the coffee time, honestly, it sort of started because I am very grateful and appreciative for all of you who watch the YouTube channel, who, obviously have reached out and who has worked with me, and we have purchased homes together. But it kind of started out as a moment for us just to sit and chat for a little bit. And we're still kind of growing this a little bit, but it has definitely been fun. So again, for those of you who are off today, why are you not still sleeping? You should be sleeping in right now. But if you are here joining us, then thank you so much. So busy day today, of course. We have all of our regular things to kind of go over. So if you weren't, or if you didn't know this, I still have not yet figured out how I can chat back with you. Once we changed this format, actually, hang on for half a second. Hey, Eric, can you go look in the garage and on the shelves? Can you bring us our England, Ireland, and Wales visit scrapbook? Because it's right there in the garage, to the right. Just look and see if you see it. If not, come on back in. Okay, sorry. I wanted to show our friend from Wales a picture. Yes. And Gerard, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, so I'm always hesitant to pronounce your name. So feel free to spell it out for me and let me know a little bit more phonetically how I should say that. Ah, he found it. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So anyway, so when we changed this over, thank you, dear. When we changed this over so that we could stream both live on Facebook as well as YouTube. YouTube, we were streaming live anyway, but when we added Facebook into it, it just changed my format here on the computer. And so I don't have the same little chat bar. So I'm not able to kind of pop back really quickly like I do. So let me just go back through and say hi to some of you. So Shrina, thank you. Florida man. Yes, I did see that. I was looking at this earlier. I was going to try to respond back to you. Put down a deposit at Ovation last October. Fortunately, you don't need to sell. Yes, that's good. If you don't need to sell your existing home, that's great shape. Shafiq, yeah. Shafiq, I want to see how you are doing. So let us know. I won't go into your whole story because that's a little private there, but how are you doing? How's family doing? And by the way, where are you? Like, are you still here?
Is it come on there if you click it?
No, I didn't click it.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay. So you couldn't do it, and then it wouldn't.
I didn't need to do that one. Elizabeth, good morning. Oh, my Eric, what a goober. Okay. Elizabeth, today's creamer, is it hazelnut or French vanilla? Sweetheart, it's a little bit of both. We have the full throttle hazelnut with a little bit of the sugar-free French vanilla. But anyway, so I just wanted to say hello, Antonio, Daniel and Erica. Good morning to you, my friends. Kathleen, Sydney, you are always here. We've got, yes, Elizabeth, you did see Molly go by. Ron, hey, how are you? Richard Scott, Shafiq again. John, we mentioned you. Welcome for joining, or thank you for joining in. And then again, as we keep going, Susie Q, Jay, you're going to keep on rolling in. Hello, Rob, Ben. Hello, everybody. So what we're going to do today is we have a lot to get to, but I did just kind of want to preface that I'm going to be able to shout out to you. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, no, there. I thought it said here I could comment, but Eric says he's going to take the day off. You're going to try. Oh, I don't like that. You should do it for real. Okay. Anyway. All right, guys. So let's get started. So today, our mug of the day. Now, I think this is one, I referenced it at some point in time. I chose this one today because this is a 3-day weekend for a lot of you, and you have earned the right to have that 3-day weekend. This is What is a Weekend? If you ever watched Downton Abbey, this is Violet Crawley saying, "What is a weekend?" Dowager Countess of Grantham. So what is a weekend? I thought it was quite appropriate for this. We actually got this mug when we went to the Downton Abbey exhibit in Atlanta, I think it was. My girls got that for me for Christmas last year, got me the tickets to that. And then we went, I don't remember when it was, maybe January, February. We went, the three of us have a little girls trip, and we went to go see the beautiful touring exhibit. It was amazing. And so, of course, we picked up this mug because it is not only appropriate for the show that I love, but for the life that I live. What, my friends, is a weekend? Because I don't get them. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to talk about what's brewing, so hang tight. Okay, so our what's brewing topics for today. Sorry, I've got a hair like on me somewhere. Okay, the Artemis Scrub. Okay, so if you were again with us last week, we were so sad that it was supposed to kind of be happening within the time period that we were doing our coffee time, and it got scrubbed kind of right before we did it, but we were kind of hopeful and optimistic that it would happen later on during the week. We thought it was supposed to happen on Saturday. Then they said maybe today. And of course, now we all know that they've kind of, really delayed that until they can really address the issue, because of course we want it to be a successful mission. And what?
You have a little light thing coming on your face.
What is he doing?
You have a little light thing.
I know. I see it when I move this way. I just won't move that way.
All right, go.
Are you dizzy? Okay. Yes. There's a light coming from somewhere. We will try to ignore that. Anyway, okay. So the Artemis Scrub. But if you were also here last week, you know that we wanted to give Eric a little bit of kudos, a little bit of props, because he did create this amazing opening. So we're going to just reference it one more time so that his work, my friends, was not in vain.
See, could have taken the day off and not had done that.
I know, right? So yeah, you're right. I do see that little light, but whatever. I'll just scooch back a little bit. So that was the opening that he created for that. So we want to, you know what? We'll hang on to it because when they ultimately, when they launch, we'll come back and hopefully it'll be at a time where we can kind of tag in on that. All right. So that was just to kind of give him a little shout out. Now the next part of what's brewing is Labor Day, and obviously we already know this is Labor Day weekend. So we want to talk a little bit about, so first of all, I don't know if you knew this, but it actually became a federal holiday in 1894, I believe. Yes, 1894. Are you still trying to figure this out?
Yes, I'm producing.
He's producing. Okay. Wow, we are so...
Oh, no, I'm just trying to figure out where...
Anyway, so Labor Day, so it became a national holiday or federal holiday. And I tell you what, it is something that I think about all the time. You know, the intent for it obviously goes way back. But ultimately a day to kind of have off and to celebrate and, kind of give everyone a little pat on the back for all of the hard work that people do. And speaking of that, I want to point this out. So, here in real estate, we talk a lot about new construction, and I am fully aware that is not the only type of real estate going on. We have listings of resale homes, but every one of those homes was built by someone at some point in time. So I'm just giving a quick little shout out to all of those men and women who are, by the way, if you look at them, shingling this roof, that is what they wear. It is 100+ degree weather up on these roofs, and they have to wear the long pants and the long sleeve shirts and the hats. And, so when people ask about water bottles on a job site, I'm like, seriously? Yes, put those water bottles out there and drink them. And please don't pass out because we appreciate everything that you're doing. We've talked about really that, again, with new construction, there are so many hands, human hands, that are building these homes that are, adding their skill, their artistic talent, their vision onto these homes. And it's not just one person. We always talk about your builder. Well, your builder is not actually the one that is necessarily swinging that hammer. They're overseeing the different crews, the different trades that they have coming in at different times. And I tell you, I see this all the time, and I am so appreciative of all the people that come together to build our shelter. And I say our, it's mine, it's yours, it's our neighbors, it's our community. And obviously that's just one element of it. But since I'm in real estate, I just want to give them a moment to say thank you. And I do remember when we built our first home here. Oops, Eric, your thing fell down. When we built our first home here, Eric and I went out and brought like a cooler of waters and Gatorades and like granola bars and things, and just kind of left it there for them and told them thank you. And I had a client recently that said they actually did the same thing, that they went out and just, brought them some Gatorades and just said a quick thank you. And I think that those little gestures go a long, long way. So whether your job is building homes or selling homes or whatever it is that you do or used to do, maybe you're retired or maybe you're young enough and you're still kind of figuring out what it is that you want to do. I think it's a great day and a great way to everyone to kind of go, you know what? Good job for us, not me, not just you, but all of us for working hard. Let's take the day and let's enjoy it. So we are going to force Eric to enjoy the day, right, honey?
If I have to.
If he has to. Okay. All right. Anyway, so our next What's Brewing is the sounds of Florida. So this is a little quiz. So a quiz for you, my friends. Can you guess what this sound is? So I want you to put your guesses in the comment section and see if you can determine what this is. From our backyard, yes. Can you tell what it is? This is literally from our backyard. Do you need it again? Oh, frogs, frogs. We're getting frogs, 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 frogs. Here we go, my friends. This is what it is. That's hysterical. Whoop. So yes, Oh, Erica did something. So that is actually frogs from our backyard. Now, if you know, oh my gosh, I don't like frogs. I do not like them. And there has been this one frog that for some reason has found its way onto the lanai, and we have to keep like kind of shooing it off. Now, part of it is probably because we have a pool that's under construction that still has some mucky water at the bottom. Oh my gosh, the other night it was so loud that I didn't want to turn the light on. I'm going to be honest. I did not want to turn the light on the lanai because I was afraid that if I turned the light on, I was going to see like just a mound of frogs, and it would really have scarred me forever. But yeah, so that was literally just from our backyard. That was pretty loud. And I mean, you could hear it in the bedroom. You lay there and you're sleeping. You're like, oh my gosh, these frogs. But anyway, that's, living in Florida, right? I'd rather hear the frog sound than the gator sound. I was surprised Eric didn't give us a gator sound, but didn't do that. All right. Anyway. All right. So let's take a couple of questions. Let's see if I can find any, and then we'll keep moving on. So we've got lots of stuff today, but I also don't want to take up your whole day because hopefully you have the day off and you're going to enjoy it. So Elizabeth, so we answered your question about the hazelnut or the creamer. Florida man, question. When should you put the existing home up for sale? Should you list the home while it is still unfurnished or furnished? So that's a really good question. So, I mean, the question in general, obviously to your specific situation, because you had just mentioned that you've got your home being built in Encore Innovation, or at least Innovation Village. So it depends. If your home is vacant and empty and in good shape, then it definitely is easier to show. It means that you're not living in that home anymore. That means the realtor or any realtor that's going to potentially show that home is going to have easy access to it. If it's a last minute showing, they're not going to have to worry about maybe a 24-hour requirement of advance notice. You're going to have a lot more potentially foot traffic because it is going to be so easy to show. It also means that if there are clients that are seeing the home and they're running, a little bit early, maybe they're running a little bit late, maybe they need to stay there a little bit longer because they like it, or maybe they're in a rush because they need to get to another showing, but they really want to come back and revisit it. Certainly more convenient to show a home that is unfurnished and vacant. Now, does it put the home in the best light? Well, that's going to be dependent on everybody's home individually. If your home is beautifully staged, you've got gorgeous furniture, everything kind of fits, and it's going to really showcase that home like it's a model home, then perhaps you want to have it kind of, I won't say staged, although you can stage your home. There are companies that will stage it for you. So that's another, that's another option. If you decide, well, we need to move out and we need to take our furniture, but, I think it's going to show better if we stage it. There are companies, your realtor can assist you for the, finding a company to stage it for you, which will just help. I mean, it kind of helps put a visual spin. It kind of helps pull people into the home, and it helps make them think of it as, oh, here's an example of how we can situate the furniture, and especially if there's challenging spaces. And sometimes there are, and you don't think about it. For instance, our family room. And if we ever get the house show ready again, ever, it's very hard because as soon as you get one room clean, another one's a disaster. That's just my life. But like in our family room, for instance, and I won't go into it too much, but we have this big giant family room and it's 2 stories high, and one wall goes all the way along the back and it has these 2 windows. The other side is a little bit shorter wall, and that's where the TV entertainment system is and the cable and all of that is. But those 2 walls are not exactly the same length. And so if you're putting your TV on one wall, and then you've got another wall that's longer, how do you then situate the furniture? Because usually you want the sofa in front of the TV, but if it's not directly between the 2 windows, because that wall's longer. Point is, sometimes there are some challenging or some things that really need to take a little bit more vision, perhaps by a professional, of which I am not when it comes to staging a home. I got a good taste, I think, but that's a little bit of a challenge. So if you're selling your home and you feel like you need to sell it vacant, but you feel like you might want to invest some time to get a staging company to come out there, I think that's a great idea. But is it necessary? No, in most cases it's not. And of course, if you're not contingent, that means you also have the ability to put, our cat's going to the litter box over there. We had to move it. We've had troubles with her. So you know what? I'm going to applaud her for going to the litter box. Okay. Anyway, so that'll be kind of dependent on everybody's particular situation. Okay. Let's see. David, let me put this comment up. Are energy prices spiraling like they are in the UK, and how does that affect costs running the AC? Well, so candidly, we're running our AC here like all the time. That's why, we can heat our homes, obviously we have heaters, and you may have to turn it on maybe once a year, maybe. In most cases here in Florida, what we do is we just turn the AC off and open the windows, and we're like, woo, it's like, fall weather for everybody else. But we are running our units all the time. So, our energy is, again, it depends on the square footage. Another thing to note is that our homes here are going to be very energy efficient, and they are pretty much everywhere, but especially when you have locations that are going to be in these tropical climates, or maybe you live somewhere and it's just freezing all the time. You're going to have specific building codes that are going to help make your home the most energy efficient that it can be, whether you're trying to keep in the heat or whether you're trying to reflect that heat. But our AC units do run the majority of the time here. So one of the things that helps us is if a homeowner does their required maintenance. A lot of people don't know that, but you are supposed to change your filter, every month. Yes, there are filters. You can do it every 2 months or every 3 months, and everyone's going to have their own thought process on that. But hearing directly from the builders for these new construction homes, here they do suggest, obviously, you change your filter every month, and every month you're supposed to take the little PVC pipe off, and you're supposed to flush that condensation line with some warm water. Sometimes they would say put a little bit of vinegar in there, always changing their mind as to what they want to do. But ultimately, the water will be fine. And that kind of helps flush it. That just helps keep your system running. So that will help the efficiency aspect of it. Doesn't necessarily answer your question with the spiraling prices like they are in the UK. But point is, here in Florida, we're pretty much running our AC all the time. So that's something that, it's important for you to do your part to keep those units in good operating order too. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Daniel and Erica, I love you. I love you. All right, so these are clients of mine. So I love it when I get their questions. So, and by the way, you guys know that you can text me anytime, right? If you ever want to talk about some of these things, because I know there's some real questions here. This is a great one. Does the squeaky wheel mean anything to the builders? I keep asking, perhaps begging for updates, and repeatedly been told framing will start soon. Am I wasting effort asking for updates? Okay, this is fantastic. This is an amazing question, and everybody needs to listen to this. The squeaky wheel is not going to assist in making anything happen any faster. There's one thing that I can promise everybody, no matter who you are building with or where you are building. The builder's primary goal is to build you your home as quickly as they can, abiding by all of the codes and building codes that we have to, and to pass all of those inspections, and to get the home built for you and closed as soon as possible, because the majority of those people, no one's getting paid until your home is complete. So if you want to think about it from a money perspective, they're not getting paid until you close. So they want to get your home completed. The challenge is right now, and you are in the midst of all of this chaos, there is a very real issue with building materials. Not only now are there issues with building materials, but we are having a very real human shortage. We are having crew issues, tradesmen. We talked about on Labor Day, all the different people, the skilled professionals, the technicians, the engineers, the artists, all of these people that have their hands on your home and are building it. Some of those trades are in short supply. So it's going to take you longer to get a drywall crew, or it's going to take you longer to get the framing crew. And remember, this is the most important part of your home. From the time that you break ground until the time that you have your pre-drywall walkthrough, that is the main skeleton of your home. It is the foundation. It is the framing. It is the electrical and the plumbing and the HVAC. And all of that really affects the skeletal aspect of your home. It's going to go slower because throughout the entire time, they have inspections. There's inspections before your framing goes up. There's inspections on the grading of the land. There's inspections on the foundation itself. I've actually had clients have a foundation poured, went back 2 days later, the foundation was ripped up in a pile of rubble in the back because it's being inspected by those county inspectors. So, the squeaky wheel isn't going to make something go faster that can't go faster. right? It's not like they're holding your lumber and your people and they're just kind of holding them behind this door waiting for someone to get mad enough that they'll finally let them out. Unfortunately, it's not the way it works. They want to have everyone be happy. They want to get it built as quickly and as efficiently as possible, but they can't give you specific dates. And this is happening. I have some other clients where I'll just kind of give you a little inside story with them as well. They, for some reason, have decided that the home isn't going to get built unless they are there trying to manage things. And it's actually at a detriment, because what has happened is, in that case, their particular builder has now learned from that client that if he says, yes, framing should start between, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, that's going to kind of be it. Well, if something happens out of their control and it doesn't start Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, now he's getting the nasty grams, and it's not his fault. It's on the schedule. And so he has learned that until the crew actually shows up and is on site, he perhaps doesn't want to say anything because he doesn't want to escalate their anxiety and their nervousness. So long and short of it is, I have always been a firm believer that the nicer person and the one who understands is probably going to have a better time with it. But that does not take away the real frustration that you are experiencing, and many, many others are, that they just need some definitive answers. They just need to know, tell me, is it going to be 3 weeks from now? Is it going to be 2 months from now? When do you think it's going to start? So text me or call me later and we can kind of talk about some of your specific ones so that we can see if there's any other answers we can get. But as a general rule, no, don't be nasty. That's like, being nasty to somebody that's making your food. Why would you do that? Just be nice. Be grateful that they are building your home, and then be patient, because it is definitely a difficult process. Yes?
I'm just going to do a segment. You got a lot of questions, so do a segment.
Yes, I know. All right. Okay, Eric is producing me over there. He's directing me. Okay. All right, so cool. All right, well, then he wants me to do another segment. So in that case, I will do, what do you want me to do?
Do Zillow.
I'll do Zillow. All right, we're going to do our Zillow gone wild. Okay, so today's Zillow Gone Wild, my friends. Oh my holy moly heck. This is amazing. In Leverett, Massachusetts, $23 million. That's right, $23 million. 16 bedrooms, 13 baths, 12 half baths. Holy crap. 16 bedrooms, 13 full baths, 12 half baths, 120,000 square feet. Are you kidding me? Now, by the way, this home, and I'm going to point out, okay, so this room right here, my oldest son would love this room. He loves to do like D&D. He's a big board game person. And that room, I think we've already pegged that as a great thematic room for him. Tennis courts with a lounge and a bar area, bowling alley. So obviously, if you haven't already figured this out, this is obviously going to be someone who probably has a little bit of money, right? An arcade. I mean, that's a better arcade than like the arcades we used to go to when we were in high school. That's amazing. And that's just, skee ball. I like skee ball. Look at this garage. I don't even want to count the number of cars, but I will tell you, this house that is actually for sale, look at that amazing aerial shot. That is just incredibly amazing. This home is from is it the founder of Yankee Candle?
I think so.
We think so.
That's an indoor pool.
That's an indoor pool. What? That's an indoor pool. That's crazy. This is a pretty amazing home. So sometimes this is just like the wow factor. Sometimes it's kind of like creepy. In this case, it's totally major, the wow factor. But this is, and just kind of in honor of the Zillow Gone Wild, you see, I do have my Yankee Candle, and as many Yankee Candles as I have bought over my lifetime, I would like to say that I probably have helped contribute to, perhaps a piece of that house somewhere. But today I do have my Yankee Candle. This is the Autumn Wreath fragrance, and I will tell you it is my favorite. There is nothing better than the fall scents. So there's my Yankee Candle in tribute to that amazing house. All right, couple more questions. Yes, Eric, is that what you want me to do? Sure. Okay. All right, let me see what else I can find for you. Still the required. Oh my gosh, there are a lot. Well, Elizabeth, is there an update on how the infrastructure of Silverleaf is looking? I wonder why you wonder, my dear. So it's getting better. We noticed the other day we drove back there, and I think we mentioned it before, but there's an actual stoplight directly in front of the schools now. So not only is there a stoplight off of Avalon Road turning into the community, but there is now a secondary stoplight directly in front of the school, which is really there mostly for the school traffic for the beginning of the school day and the end of the school day. The majority of the time that road is going to stay, with the green light just kind of going straight. As far as getting back into the Silverleaf community where you're specifically referencing, you can see it's still dirt. It is not paved, but you can see the pathway that's all the way back there. They're clearing it. And then as soon as we see anything more exciting, we're going to let you know for sure. Let's see. Lovely. Any updates on new construction homes at Highland Ridge by, it's by Meritage Homes, but I think that's what you meant. Little typo there. Yeah. So Highland Ridge is with Meritage. So yeah, they should have their models pretty soon. I do have a client that is contracted there, and we did just get the good news that he's getting ready to break ground. All of that area, again, was a little, kind of had some hiccups, had a few little bumps in the road, a few little hurdles that they had to go over, more with the county and the water main than anything. And a lot of these communities, excuse me, a lot of these communities were selling, before they had the models, before the infrastructure was done. So it's just taking a lot longer. In fact, a funny thing, after I take a sip of my coffee, a funny thing is I had my someone from my brokerage that handles the compliance aspect of our files sent me a message the other day saying, what about these 3 homes? They've been in the system for a year now. What's going on? And we had to respond back. Yes, they still exist. They're just homes that are new construction, and it's taking an extended period of time to get them started. So that is certainly no exception. But the good news is that all of that area is starting to really start to come along. So we expect to see some good progress soon. We know the Del Webb Oasis model should be opening soon. And same thing again with Highland Ridge. So we'll get those to you as soon as possible. Ron Cheryl, will you explain the differences between living within the Disney bubble and outside the Disney bubble? Well, that's a good question. So when you say living, and this would assume that you're talking that you're living there full time. If this is your primary residence, and this also depends on your age or stage of life. If you're a young single individual, whether you are a young couple, whether you are a young married couple starting a family, maybe you're in the throes of children and you've got kids in schools, or whether you're downsizing and retiring, single, married. Again, there's so many different variables that's going to affect what it is that you're looking for to call home, as far as what it is that you really feel like is going to nurture what it is that you want to do on a day-to-day life. So inside the Disney bubble, it's hard to explain, because inside, in my opinion, inside the Disney bubble is going to encompass a lot of different areas. Here in Winter Garden in the Horizon West area, I feel like we're inside the Disney bubble, except that we're not in the tourist part of the Disney bubble, but we still reap the benefit of being so very, very close. For other people who want to live super close, like in the Kissimmee and Davenport areas, again, those are great places to live if you like that proximity to the parks, because you're there in a hop, skip, and a jump. But is that necessarily a place that, there's a lot of short-term rental communities there. So there's a lot more variety, I guess I should say, of communities. And so that takes a little bit more research. So that if you're going, I don't want to live in an area that's short-term rental, because I want to make sure that where I live has an actual community and neighbors and neighborhood, and my kids can play with the other kids on the street. That's going to be one type of a community. And then there are other communities that are more short-term rental. And so that's more of a vacation vibe. It's not really a community where you're going to consistently hang out and play with your neighbors. All of these obviously are close to being in the Disney bubble. But if you live further out, and I think this is maybe your question, but if you're living a little bit further out where Disney is still in grasp, you could still get there maybe in 45 minutes or an hour, and you're like, I just want to live a little bit further out, a little bit away from the chaos. I want some land. I want to have a little bit more of a country feel. There are definitely places that you can do that. And again, enjoy the Florida weather, enjoy the relaxing kind of atmosphere, but still be close to all the fun and excitement that a lot of people that live here want to enjoy, which is Disney. All right. Do you have another question for me? Okay, Eric's standing over there, so it makes me nervous because I'm like, I think he wants to ask me something. Okay, all right, let's see. What is another one? Oh, this is a good one. Hatisha, hopefully I spelled that correctly. It's a beautiful name, by the way. And you are beautiful. Look at your picture. Oh my gosh. All right, your lipstick, that was amazing. Okay, so do you need ductwork cleaning when you move into a new home? Wondering if construction debris gets in the system and needs cleaning. That is a fabulous question. So one of the things that the builders will tell you with new construction is that in the beginning, you're going to need to change your filters in your AC handler maybe a little bit more often, because yes, you are correct. It's going to be, common sense that if they've been building this home, that you're going to have some dust and some debris that's going to kind of be still floating in the air that's going to need to be filtered out. And so those filters need to be replaced. Excuse me. As far as actual ductwork cleaning, I don't know that you need to go to that extreme. However, the option is always, a year down the road, or maybe a little less than a year down the road, to maybe get a full cleaning or a full inspection of everything, just to kind of make sure everything is still going and working in place, especially when it's still potentially under that builder's warranty, just to make sure that there isn't anything. It is a good question, though, because that's why the pre-drywall walkthroughs are relatively important. That's really the only time you get to see behind the walls. Now, you can't see inside the ducts, but you do get a chance to see and make sure that everything looks like it's that the flow, that the bend of them is not crimped. And again, these things are inspected before they sign off on that. But I would say I don't think you need ductwork cleaning. I think that perhaps you just need to remember to change your filter a little bit more often. As soon as you move in, just to make sure that you can kind of filter through that system. And again, that'll be good for your AC unit too, because as we discussed earlier, we're running it all the time. So, all right, let's do another little segment here. Let's see, what do we want to do now? Let's do our big and little. Okay, so if you've been with us the past few weeks, a couple weeks ago, we did the 4, 5, 6. We did homes in the 400s, 500s, and 600s. Again, just focused here specifically in this area here in Central Florida, in the Horizon West area in Winter Garden. Then last week we did 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. I can't remember. We upped the price point a little bit. And today we're going to do big and small. So we're going to do the biggest listing of the week, or the most expensive, and then we're going to do the smallest. And this is something that went active this week. Okay, so this one is a resale home in Latham Park. Latham Park is located here in Horizon West. This is not my listing, but I can help you. If you're interested, give me a call. So Latham Park is a community that was built by Ashton Woods. So if you are familiar with kind of the initial concept of this, this is Ashton Woods was a community that was kind of diagonally across the street. Well, it's actually very close to the Meritage community of Watermark. So if you know a little bit about this area, that's where Latham Park is. It's kind of tucked away over there. This happens to be on the other side. There's like a little strip of homes. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 homes-ish, maybe 7. That are actually on the lake. So that's why the price point on this one is a little bit more eye-popping. So 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. It is on the lake. To my understanding, it doesn't have a pier or a dock. A little over 4,000 square feet and over 1.6 million. That's a little bit pricey if you ask me, but I'm sure it's lovely. And then here is the smallest listing of the week. This is in my favorite community of Waterley, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. It's on a corner home site, which is nice. It's a smaller, so 1,685 square feet, listed at 535,000. So this, looking at it, I believe this is the Laurel. Yeah, I think this is their Laurel floor plan, which is a nice, again, it's a rear entry. So if you look at the cute little front porch, you can see that you have the front, but you're like, well, where's the garage? Well, the garage is along the back. So if you take a peek, you can see the little street sign back there. And there's the little alleyway that goes behind these homes. Again, we reference these as bungalows or rear entry garage style homes. And that's how you would access the garage for this home. But this is a fantastic floor plan if you are looking to downsize. Because it is laid out very well. Again, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. The fact that this one is on a corner home site is very nice because you get that extra side yard. Whether you use it or not, it certainly gives you a little bit more, distance between you and a neighbor. So there's the biggest and the littlest, or the smallest of the week here of homes that are available in Winter Garden. And again, this is specifically in the Winter Garden in the Horizon West area. Let's see. Kit, I just signed on. So sorry if you've addressed this, but what's the latest on your pool? You hear it yelling over there? It's getting there, but just like all of you that are building and you're experiencing these, frustrations, we are too. It's coming along. We have finally had the gentleman that is in charge of doing the rock work, the waterfall part of it, which is really the next step. That needs to be completed. And it's been a work in progress now for quite a while. There was a period of time where he got sick, so he couldn't come out for a while. And then we're not really sure what happened. He just kind of wasn't coming back for a while and reached out to the pool company. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they came out and took a look. And he has been here the past couple of days making some significant progress. But we are not done. So literally until the rock work is completed, there'll be the waterfall part of it. We're kind of at a standstill. We're also waiting on pavers. So as soon as we get the pavers that we need for the decking that goes around it, those are really the next two things. And then I think at that point, it's going to be smooth sailing. And as you know from our Sunday, I guess it was our Sunday drive, and we probably talked about it last week too on our coffee time, is that we already got the pool furniture too, so that won't be delivered for a while. But we are very, very anxious. I have to tell you, we're very excited about that. Okay, a couple more questions, and then we're going to go to another little segment. D-Town, love this. For new developments, should I sign up for the VIP communications from the builder, or should I work directly with you and you provide all the updates, etc.? Okay, these are such good questions. You would think that I told you to ask these. Okay, so here's the thing. It shouldn't be a problem for any person that is interested in moving to explore a builder's website and to sign up for a VIP list or any of that information. It shouldn't be a problem. However, it can be sometimes. For instance, this is an exact example of what happened to clients that I've had in town this weekend. They don't even remember doing this, but they must have at some point in time either contacted, signed up for the VIP list, or maybe chatted with the online person. And therefore they were in the system for the builder. And the builder then assigned them to one of the sales associates at that community. So they didn't know that. They had no idea about that. I certainly didn't know that. They came in town. We were touring some resale homes, some new construction homes. We talked about this specific builder. They went to this community. I got them set up. I said, go meet this particular person over at this community. He'll be waiting for you. This represents the builder, by the way, the builder contact. But then when they got there and I gave my contact with the builder their information, he's like, oh, they're already in the system and they're listed with my partner. And so what happened, it's not a detriment. It's not a problem. It just means that I was trying to communicate with one of the site agents, but because they preemptively had reached out to the builder somehow, even if it was unbeknownst to them, they were now attached to another person at the community. And that can just create a little bit of unnecessary confusion. And the other thing too is that sometimes if you reach out to the internet salesperson, again, this is not true in every case, and they're all lovely humans, so love and hugs to everyone. But sometimes when you reach out to their internet person, they're the internet operator type person. So they may not know the specific answers to the community that you're referencing. So they sometimes then will pass you off again to someone else in that community. But you don't have control over who they just passed you off to. And I will tell you that in my situation, if you are looking or interested, and I would say reach out to me, let's get the conversation started, because what I can do is I can get you all that information, but more importantly, I can get you in touch with one of those direct site agents so that you can bypass the other pieces of it. But in most cases, signing up on a VIP list is going to be okay. You just need to make sure that at any point in time you put in there that you are going to be working with a realtor so that if they ever push back on it, it could be a problem. But the other thing you can do is reach out to me and then I'll get you on that VIP list. And then you're protected either way. So that was a very long answer for a very good question, however. All right. Let me see. Eric, I'm going to go to the listing now. So we had a new listing come up. This is our listing. Just went active last Thursday. This is a beautiful home by Rockwell Homes over in Winding Bay. Winding Bay is again here off of Avalon Road, just past Waterley, down the road a little bit. This is a beautiful home. This is a 1-story floor plan with a bonus room option. The bonus room option has not only a large bonus room, but it also has an additional bedroom and an additional full bath upstairs. Also has a designated office space with glass pane French doors. Also has a privacy fence in the backyard. So this is a great floor plan, and I will tell you, we have priced this very, very, very well. There is a brand new one of these. By the way, this home is just at its 1 year mark. So this home is also, relatively new. In fact, it's not even a year old yet. And there is a new one of these that is listed at, I believe, $715 from the builder that is not completed yet. So we have really priced this one very well. It is beautiful too. So if you're interested in this one, certainly give me a call and you can let me know about this one. But this, again, is a great opportunity. Lovely home. Love the front porch on it. That is, again, that was Rockwell Homes with Winding Bay. Winding Bay actually has 2 builders in it. It's K-Hovnanian as well as Rockwell. K-Hov has already sold out of all of their homes, but Rockwell still has a few left. Okay, Eric, did you want me to do something else?
You got so many questions. You better take the questions.
Oh, questions. Okay. Oops. Let's see.
Our new guy asked me, so I retyped it in there.
Okay. And the Hamlin. Hold on. Where's Hamlin? In the new Hamlin areas, has Dreamfinders released the floor plans for the area, or are they still to come? So Shrina, you must have watched our Sunday drive yesterday. So to my understanding, and I will certainly get you in touch with my Dreamfinders contact. A lot of times they may know what the floor plans are. They just may not be releasing them yet. A lot of times these communities are so early in the process that they still have to plat everything out. So what, to my understanding, there is the park view at Hamlin, which is going to be the townhomes with the observation balcony for the fireworks. That's a whole different concept. I've never even seen Dreamfinders townhomes before. So that's going to be new for all of us. I'm excited about that one. But the other communities that we referenced, to my understanding, is going to have a lot of their very normal top selling floor plans. The Anna Maria with the bonus room. And remember, Dreamfinders is one of the builders that gives you so much versatility in the bonus rooms, whether it's a bonus room or a bonus room with a bedroom or a bonus room with 2 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms. So there's that part of it. They also have like the Tidewater also has a bonus room option, the Avalon/Arlington. It's the Arlington in Winter Garden. It's the Avalon in Lake County, but who knows what they'll call it here. They have a lot of beautiful floor plans. So I think that's, we're going to be excited about that. But my guess is that it is going to be the same or very similar floor plans to what they have already built here in Sanctuary at Hamlin, Wincy Groves, and Lakeside at Hamlin, which are the 3 already existing and essentially closed out communities here. So I would take a look at those. That's probably going to be more in line. All right, Eric, you wanted me to do... John said, why do only some builders offer central vacuum? I'd like to have it installed during construction instead of after the market. Is it worth it? That's a really good question, John. It is not an option for a lot of the builders. In fact, in most of them, you are correct. Definitely, if you have a semi-custom or a custom builder, it's absolutely something that you can do. Obviously, custom, you do whatever you want. Semi-custom typically is going to give you that option. But most of the builders out here are production builders. I've actually never had central vac. I think I would love it, but at the same time, not ever having had it, I just don't know how efficient it is, how well it works, what happens if something gets clogged up in there. I mean, these are questions I actually don't have experience with. But what I do know is that there's an awful lot of amazing robot vacuums out there that, to me, I think that's just easier. I have one downstairs and upstairs. The really nice ones that have the tank on it, so it self-empties. And that way you just push, I say that, and we really need to get ours hooked up. But you push the button, it will vacuum, and when it gets filled, it docks itself again and sucks up all the dust and everything, the dog hair, and then it resets itself and it continues on. And so that way it's being vacuumed, but I still didn't have to do anything. I probably would go that route myself. But yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. I just think maybe it's not as popular as it used to be. I'm not really sure. Let's see. That was a good question though. So thank you, Eric, for relaying John's question. Let's see. What were the other questions? I don't see any. Oh, I have to wait. You know what? Let me go back and let me type my queue again. Did I miss a lot of them?
I mean, there's
I kind of
so
wish.
much.
I know. I've already looked at these. See, I did that one. I did that one. I did
So,
that one. Trying to find a
way
new
down.
question for you.
Everything's progressing there. You got that. You got that. You got that.
Yeah, well, we already went over that one. Happy Labor Day. How are things progressing in the rest of Ovation? Ben, we were just talking about that a little while ago. Things are definitely progressing. Del Webb is pouring foundation for some of theirs. West Haven starting to trucker forward a little bit. And then Highland Ridge, as we mentioned, their models are getting ready to open, and we've got some pre-construction meetings scheduled for some clients out there. So I think that over the next few months, you're going to see a lot more progress out there. It's almost like it's hard to get started. It's hard to get any community started, especially when I always feel like, candidly, I feel like a lot of the builders jump the gun a little bit. They want to get caught up in the frenzy of everything and the excitement, and they want to get people on the interest list, back to that VIP list we talked about a minute ago. They want to start pre-selling as soon as they can without really being totally prepped and ready for it. And I think sometimes that can be a detriment. It certainly is not buyer friendly because it's just frustrating, to be quite honest. But I do think that in the rest of that Ovation area, you're going to see a lot happening. We talked about the new Dream Finders community that's going to be happening out there as well. We've got MI is expanding and starting their other phases. They've just released their townhomes. So definitely a lot happening in the Ovation Village here in the Horizon West area. Rob, if and when, hi Rob, if and when can we see a tour of the new Camden? Soon as I can get out there, as soon as we can get a Camden, we will certainly do that for you. Let's see, what else do we have?
Florida Man had a different question
Florida Man.
related to his other one. Right there.
Existing home is under 3 years old, shows like a model. Good job. Our preference would be a 2-month overlap. They have yet to break ground on the new home. How much lead time does a realtor need? All right. So if you're not contingent, first of all, it depends on where your existing home is. Whoever your listing agent is, you're going to need to go to them for that advice, because what I would tell my clients here might be different than if you have a home in New York, might be different if you have a home in Arizona or in California. So talk to the agent that's going to be listing that home. But a lot of the things that, obviously you said it's under 3 years old, so it's not very old. So I don't imagine there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed in the home. If it shows like a model, there's probably not a lot of thinning out and purging and prepping and staging that you're going to need to do. But it depends on how long it's taking for these homes to sell. We talked about the market's a little bit slower right now. Foot traffic is very slow, very, very slow. And it's not alarming. It's just, when, months ago we were, freaking out because there was way too many offers way too fast. And now we're like, okay, well, the home's been on the market and there's like nobody's requesting a showing. It's just that time of year. So, it takes, where we live, it takes about 30 days from contract to close. So if I put a home on the market and it goes under contract immediately, that buyer's agent is typically going to allow a 30-day closing. So, you just have to kind of think about, well, when is the new home going to be completed versus, when do I need to officially get out or move out and put the other home on the market? The other thing to consider is that with new construction, that date is a moving target. And really until you get about 30 days out, everything is still moving around. It can be very, very frustrating, and it's a very, very real frustration. But I always tell clients, when drywall goes up, once your drywall is in, it has been mudded and taped, you are probably 45 to 60 days away from closing. Probably. Your builder could go faster, your builder could go slower, but most builders are consistent with this time frame. 45 to 60 days once you have had your pre-drywall walkthrough and that drywall is up and mudded, because at that point they have all of the fit and finish on the inside. So until you get, until you get the pre-drywall walkthrough kind of scheduled for your new home that you're building, that's going to at least give you somewhat of a target to go, okay, well, we're probably 2 months away from closing-ish. Maybe use that as your marker. But again, again, not knowing if you live here in Florida already, where that existing home is, I would say check with your realtor there to find out when you should probably list that. Okay, what are the other questions? D-Town, yes. What is the situation with the adjacent properties at Lake Apopka Sound? We drove through and there were properties that looked like a trailer park. So yes, if you saw the Sunday drive where we drove through Lake Apopka Sound, which is a beautiful new D.R. Horton community on a gorgeous piece of land on Lake Apopka, the main entrance does take you back through what we kind of like reference as old Florida. You know, Florida is not just the new and the pretty and the new communities. They're the older and established communities, whether it is a campground or a trailer mobile home type of a park. Those are nestled all around. But yeah, so when you get to that main entrance of Lake Apopka Sound, you do go past, I don't know if you noticed it when you drove through there, but you passed Oakland Trails, which was a Meritage community, beautiful community on the right side and the left side. And then after you passed that community, that's when it started to get a little bit more rural, kind of weaving back. And then once you looped around, it kind of opened up into the Lake Apopka Sound. But the weaving around was a little bit more of old Florida. So yeah, it's just it's a different part of the area that you kind of have to drive past to get to the entrance of the new and the beautiful. Rob is asking about lightning rods. I don't think we have lightning rods. Eric, we have everything is grounded.
I put a note there for you about lightning rods.
You put a note. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say, so your homes are pretty much grounded. So you have, like, even on the screens, you're screened in lanai. They again, with code, and obviously lighting is a huge factor here. In most cases, your homes are already built with these, grounding elements to it. I'm sure there probably are some. Let's see. Eric says, homes are usually pretty well grounded. What I just said. Power companies will install lightning rods or surge protectors for you if you ask. So there you go. There's your answer to that one. I've actually never had anybody have a lightning rod or ask about that before. So good question. Just not familiar with that. But I do know that every time we progress here, whether there's a storm or whatever, things tend to change and the building codes change. And so they, not only do they have the grounding elements for your screen lanais, but they also have them anchored down. So now they are anchored just like your roof is strapped to the house. So lots of things that they change. So it's a good question. I like that one. Susan. Susan, did you change your hairstyle? You look fabulous. No, I didn't change it. My hair is always super straight. I just got tired of trying to curl it in the Florida humidity because it was a waste of time. So I just decided I would just go straight with it. But you're very sweet, my friend. We need to chat on the phone sometime. Susan.
Melissa's question.
Melissa, I'm going to it right now, dear. I'm building in Heartwood Landing. The house to the right of us started being built. House to the left, not yet. We want to put up a fence. So should we wait to do so it doesn't get damaged? Ooh, good question. Candidly, probably. It shouldn't really affect it, but if you have pets or kids or something, I can see that you have children right there. They're lovely. If there's a reason that you need to get that yard fenced in, it is your property and you do have the right to get your fence, put in and enjoy your space. You shouldn't have to wait for somebody else's house to be built. The builder isn't necessarily going to damage it. This happens all the time. People have homes being built all the time and somebody puts a fence in. So they'll just have to be a little bit more careful of that. Sometimes, one of the benefits though, is if you share a property line and a fence with someone, if you make nice with your neighbor, you might be able to split the cost of the one that goes between the houses. That's kind of a good reason to kind of wait and hang out. But you could be like us, and our neighbors preferred a privacy fence. We preferred the black open railing. And so if you've looked at any of our pool pictures, you'll see that they got their fence in before we did, and it was too late for us to adjust our order and remove that section of fence. So we actually have our black fence up against their privacy fence. So I really would say, do what you need to do for you. It's your home. You've worked hard to earn it. You are closing on it. You want to be able to enjoy your space as soon as you possibly can. If there's no worry about when you get the fence, maybe wait a little bit later. But if you're like, no, I'd really like to have it sooner rather than later, then do so. They'll have to work around you because that's your property. So if they damage it, it'll be on them. All right, let's see. Okay, is there anything else? Did I miss any of my? Yes, I did. We're going to go to, hold on, I'm going to remove this one. So we're going to go back to a fun thing, and then we're going to get out of here because it's already been an hour, and you guys have got more, much better things to do than listen to me. But before we go, I am going to tell you what I'm watching. Okay, so again, you probably don't care about this, but I'm always looking for suggestions. I've watched so many different series on Netflix. There's so many that I have already watched that I've finished that were fabulous. Currently, I'm watching Love on the Spectrum. If you have not, actually, I just finished it. If you have not seen this, this is the most heartwarming and heartfelt, lovely, like documentary of adults that are on the autism spectrum. Just like everybody else, hoping to find love and companionship. And it is absolutely heartwarming. And every single episode just, it made me so emotional, like in a good way, especially when things turned out happy for them. But what I love about it is adults. And, it's very educational. If you don't have any experience with having a friend or a family member on the spectrum, it gives you a lot of great insight into challenges that they face day to day. But the reality is that they're just like everybody else, and they still want that need and that love, like I said, for love and for companionship and for security. And it's just absolutely heartwarming. So if you haven't watched that one, there's actually two. There's this one, the one in the US, and then there was another one. I actually stumbled on it. I was trying to find it again, and I clicked on another version, which I think was like for the UK or something. I'm not sure, but there's two different ones, same concept, same documentary concept, and it's amazing. So if you want a nice little heartwarming thing, Love on the Spectrum is my go-to. Okay, all right. Eric wants me to do another question. He says there's more.
No, just Jarrett. You said.
Yes, I did.
And he told us how to pronounce his name, which is
Jarrett. Jarrett. Are you still here, Jarrett? Text me if you're still here. Jarrett.
He said like bear and pint. Bear. So Jarrett. I'll read it.
We'll fix it. I'll fix it. All right, but let me know if you're still here, if I haven't lost you, because this is what I want to show you. So years ago, we went to England, Wales, and Ireland for a family vacation. And this is the cover of our book. And this is the back cover of our book where we got stranded on the side of the road. Yes, that's absolutely the truth. We were driving on the little tiny streets in where were we on this one? We were still in England, right?
No, we were in Wales.
We were in Wales.
Where we were.
Well, we didn't know where we were. Yes, that's right, because we were driving to Wales first. And the roads are very, very tiny, very narrow. The car that Eric rented was a manual or something, and we couldn't, like a stick shift.
No, it was driving to the other side and the whole thing.
No, I know. Yes.
My Welsh friend said, don't take the highway, take the back roads. Like, set your GPS to not go on the thing. And so we ended up on one-lane roads the whole way across.
Yes, we did. These little one-way roads. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And I am so grateful that we did that. But this was us when we were driving down the road and somebody else was driving toward us. And so we're like, well, what do we do? So we backed up a little bit and got that rear tire stuck in a ditch. And then we didn't know where we were, literally no idea where we were, couldn't pronounce anything, and had to wave someone down. And I don't even know how we got out, but we did eventually get out. But that was us stranded on the side of the road. So, all right, guys. So we are going to wrap this up. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I know I'm a bit long-winded, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope you I guess this is the last day of the 3-day weekend. For me, it's going to be my first day off. I think if Eric and I are going to be allowed to take it off today. But thank you again for watching. Remember, we have our home tours. We send those out on the Heart and Home Orlando YouTube channel. We also have our Sunday drives that we air every Sunday to kind of give you a real life drive-by visual of the area that we talk about so much and that we showcase. But more importantly, please remember, hold on, let me find it. Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you, and happy house hunting. Bye, guys. See you later.